Welcome back to Better Than a Pill. Today, I'm so excited to have Amanda Yue and Shannon Davis on as guests. Amanda, she's been on the podcast before. She's back. She's a functional medicine practitioner, a pharmacist, a melt and yoga instructor, and an insulin IQ certified coach. She's passionate about healing the whole body, not just fixing symptoms, which is what she's doing as a retail pharmacist, right? She was able to transform her own health through different holistic modalities, and her mission is to help others achieve health outcomes sustainably. She's found a product that often works better than medication for chronic health issues, and studies show that mental health is strongly correlated to metabolic health. And Shannon is a registered dietitian of 18 years, specializing in metabolic health. She has experience in organ transplant, bariatrics, sports nutrition, nephrology, and pharmaceutical sales. Her passion is helping people shift their focus to insulin resistance in order to heal from chronic disease. Shannon also enjoys CrossFit, weightlifting, running, riding horses, and other outdoor activities. So welcome, Shannon and Amanda.
Thank you.
We're excited to be here.
I'm so happy you guys are here. And today we're going to be talking about natural weight loss solutions, natural GLP-1. I'm excited to get into this. Let's start off for everybody listening that is struggling with losing weight or maintaining their weight. And maybe some people don't know what GLP-1 is. What is that?
Yeah, I'll chime in. So GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide. It is a incretin hormone. It is produced by our body. So our body makes this in our gut, but it makes very small amounts in responses to food. And so this hormone tells our brain we've had enough to eat, and it also plays a role in gut motility. And so what these pharmaceutical companies found was if we give you a lot of this, then your appetite is going to be suppressed, and people call it the food noise in their head is shut off. And then as far as digestion goes, food kind of sits in your belly. And if you have a belly full of food, you really don't get hungry. The problem we get with these humongous synthetic doses, and we've heard, all of us, unless we've lived under a rock for the past year, have heard of Ozempic and Wegovy. They're the same drug. Wegovy's just the quote unquote weight loss version, whereas Ozempic is the diabetes version. So they're the same drug, but they are a synthetic form at a much, much higher dose that keeps that elevation well over like a week span. And so that's where we get some of the terrible side effects, because it's just not that natural. And so if we can find ways to increase our body's own GLP-1 production, then we can get some of the benefits with leaving those nasty side effects out of the equation.
I see. And so the synthetic versions of this GLP-1 from Ozempic or Wegovy, they have side effects, like you just mentioned. What kind of side effects?
I'll go, since this is in my wheelhouse, because I dispense a lot of Ozempic and Wegovy I've done in the past 6 months or so. And the main one is nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, just severe side effect. Just the severe nausea itself, it just make you not want to eat. Just that itself, you will lose weight that way as well. And what studies shows is also that the weight loss that people are losing, they're losing muscle mass. They're not losing fat mass. So that is concerning. And because of the intestinal side effects, many people end up in the emergency room for blocked intestine, for gastroparesis. So those are the main side effects that people end up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've heard people share that they couldn't take either of them because they were experiencing diarrhea. I've heard that a
There's
lot.
many, Carrie, there's also, chime in with Amanda, those are the most prevalent, but you will also hear thyroid cancer. You will also hear pancreatitis. We're seeing extreme muscle wasting. They call it Ozempic face. And now Dr. Ben Bickman just was talking about, he's a top metabolic specialist, somebody that I highly respect, was talking about Ozempic babies. So people
Oh,
are
yes.
getting pregnant now, their birth control is failing because it's sitting in their gut and it's not being metabolized properly. So, whoops, we're going to start to see some babies.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So there are pregnant women taking Ozempic and Wegovy. Is that what I'm
Well,
hearing?
they were on it
Okay.
and on birth control, and their birth control failed because one of the things that Ozempic and Wegovy do is they slow down gut motility. So, if you ingest an oral contraceptive and it doesn't get digested and properly metabolized, then you don't get the benefits of, Amanda can speak probably better on that as a pharmacist, as the MOA. But yeah, I don't think that it's a long-term solution. I know, look, I've worked with people for 18 years that, in being in nutrition as a dietitian, seeing people struggle with lifelong obesity. And so I truly empathize with people when they make the decision to do that. I do not judge because no one wants to be overweight. That's the first thing I say, is no one ever chooses that route. And so if people have struggled and tried or felt like they've tried everything, and Amanda and I have another alternative that we'll speak to, but if they feel like they've tried everything and now there is a solution, I understand. I understand with everything that I have in me why they are going that route. All I want to educate and inform people on is, if you do go that route, you must understand we don't know the long-term side effects. There are some short-term side effects that we're seeing very prevalent today, and you have to make healthy food choices. You have to change your food, and that's one of the things that people are so hell-bent on not doing, is the work, is changing the food and doing the exercise. And we want the easy way out sometimes without thinking about, okay, what are the consequences from that? And so I don't want people to think that I am completely against it or hate it or anything like that. I do think that it does serve a purpose. I just think that it's being abused right now, severely abused, by people that don't need to lose but maybe 5 to 10 to 20 pounds, when what could happen long term, we don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like they're almost like going to use this drug instead of wanting to make the changes to their lifestyle, which, if we take a drug and we're not making the changes to our lifestyle, it's more than just weight loss that we're talking about here. We're talking about our overall health and being. So we can lose weight in an unhealthy or healthy manner, right?
Correct. Especially these GLP-1 agonists, such as Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, they do work. Yes, they work very well. But the thing is, you have to adjust the lifestyle. You have to implement diet, nutrition, and exercise, weight-resistant exercise. If you're not doing all those things and just simply using the injections, like Shannon said, we don't know the long-term side effects. And from what Dr. Benjamin Bickman, had shared with us in the Insulin IQ community, is that in about 24 months, these medications could show the decrease in the efficacy of it. And also, some insurance are not covering these medications long term. And when people come off, if you're not implementing diet, nutrition, and exercise, and you're just using the injection and you stop the injections, you're going to get these rebound side effects. You're going to gain the weight back, and you're gaining fat mass back. You're not gaining those muscle mass back, especially people who are in menopause, people like myself, people elderly, especially women. We need our muscle mass as we get older, and we're not gaining those back. So that is a concern.
Yeah, that's always been a question of mine is like when you stop the injections, do you gain the weight back? And how long do you have to take these injections? Is this something you have to be on for life or?
I think the drug companies would want you to be on for life
Yeah.
because then you become a moneymaker for them for long periods of time. I think that where maybe they could use this for the good is okay, implementing a what's next protocol for people. And that's where Amanda and I come in because we have been working with people that either were on these medications or could not tolerate these medications, and working with some weight loss centers in providing them with an option to what's next.
Mm.
And if patients or clients are on, say, a 6-week protocol of a semaglutide, towards the end of their 6-week journey, implementing this natural alternative that Amanda and I use to keep appetite suppressed, to maintain the weight loss in a natural, healthier way, so that everything they've accomplished isn't just thrown in the trash. And so now they can feel confident coming off and not afraid because they do have a what's next. And even working with us as far as picking better food choices that don't spike insulin. And we can talk about insulin at a later point, but not spiking insulin, that is the master hormone that controls hunger and fat storage. Making sure that Amanda mentioned resistance exercise, because believe it or not, muscle is longevity.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, from a metabolic standpoint, we need that. But not only that, and we could talk for that's my area. So I'd love to tell you that. But yeah, so it sounds like there's the natural solution. Let's talk about this. So what is that natural solution for weight loss? What the people listening today, what can somebody do if they've been on Ozempic or Wegovy, they're coming off, they need a next step, or if they don't even want to go that route and they don't want to put that drug in their body, but yet they are struggling with weight loss. What can they do?
Shannon and I, we take these.
Mhm.
So basically, this is tea. I'll do the tea. Shannon can do the other one. It's a fiber matrix. So this is what I drink. I wake up in the morning. I mix one of this into this bottle here, about 30 ounces of water, and that's what I drink in the morning. I drink that in a fasted state. Intermittent fasting will help to bring down insulin. The problem with insulin resistance is that we have too much insulin. It's not a matter of not enough insulin, it's that some of our cells are not functioning properly, they're resistant to the insulin. And how you can fix that is to practice intermittent fasting to bring down the insulin levels. And that is intermittent fasting. And this kind of help you to suppress this tea here. It's a concentrated yerba mate tea. It helps to suppress the hunger. And according to the latest study, it can increase your GLP-1 similar to the Ozempic and the Wegovy up to 60-70% in a fasted state. So it shuts off the food noise, decrease your cravings for carbs and sugars. I used to be a snacker. I used to eat every couple of hours. I have snacks all over in my pocket at work, in my cars, in my purse, like protein bar, thinking that they're healthy nuts. And I would just feed myself every hour, half an hour or so. So what this can do is to help you to sustain that fast. And then it has other benefits as well. So the major compound in this tea is chlorogenic acid. It helps to decrease inflammations, suppress your hungers, but it also helps to slow down gastric emptying. It does similar thing as the Ozempic and the Wegovy. What other things can this do? It helps to improve muscle efficiency. Remember, the Wegovy, the Mounjaro, it makes you lose muscle mass, muscle wasting. This actually helps you build muscle. It helps with muscle efficiency, and it also increases fat inefficiency. So meaning that you burn more fat, in a fasted state. Anything else with the tea here? And it's very easy and it's very tasteful. So
the chlorogenic acid, if you Google chlorogenic acid, I'm going to chime in to add on to what Amanda said. She covered almost it perfectly, but you'll see you've got some anti-carcinogenic properties. It's fantastic at lowering blood pressure. I don't really know the mechanism of action to that, but I've had so many clients come off of their blood pressure medication after implementing this protocol. It clears brain fog. I have a lot of children that are on the Unimate because their parents don't want them on ADD meds. So it really truly helps with focus, fantastic energy. But again, back to the chlorogen, you'll see anti-diabetic, anti-carcinogenic, antiviral, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. It's an amazing compound. And so it's unlike anything I've seen in my 18-year career. I can tell you that.
I'm super excited. Thank you guys. Those of you listening, I am starting to drink this tea. It's a yerba mate tea, and I'm using it personally. I'm for gut related issues. I'm having a lot of gut health, a separate issue from weight loss. So I'm not really struggling with that, but I like the taste of it. I can tell you, and I'm very new to the process. I love to hear that it has all these positive side effects. It has obviously can help with curbing our appetite, the GLP-1 for people that are listening in specifically for weight loss, but it helps with the chlorogenic acid that's something that is the power in this product, it sounds like. And the yerba mate, has natural antioxidants as well, which is awesome. And it can help with mood and focus, which I have to tell you, I've been feeling really great. And I trust you all, and very much I wouldn't do a product that wasn't obviously recommended by you. And studies have been done on this product from my understanding. Cleveland Clinic, you guys have done your research, right? It's not like this is it's just a product. And you have experience using this product. So speak a little bit about your experience, which is a lot more than mine.
Sure. Let me tag on the remaining part. And it's funny that you said, Carrie, that you just feel good because it's called the Feel Great system. And for that reason, the second part, so Amanda went over the tea, we call it the tea, is called Balance. It's a fiber matrix. And so what is so cool about this, it's a blend of 7 different types of soluble and insoluble fiber. So you go to the grocery store, you buy Miralax or you buy Metamucil. Those are single source fibers and they're pretty low grade quality. When you mix a soluble and an insoluble fiber in this combination, it forms a matrix, an impenetrable membrane. Dr. Robert Lustig is a pediatric endocrinologist. He talks about looking at this matrix under a microscope. And it's almost like a net, like a mesh that we can look at it like a carb blocker. It slows the absorption of carbohydrates or glucose and fat and cholesterol. And so it also, speaking of you, I know you're working on improving your gut health because gut health is so important for so many things, for nutrient absorption, for our mood. Our gut is our second brain, and that's where our neurotransmitters are produced. So it is imperative that we have a healthy gut. So when we feed our bugs good stuff, they grow and flourish and the bad boys die off. And so this is not only a quote unquote carb blocker, but it's also a prebiotic. So you mix this up, you drink it directly before your largest meal or your largest carb containing meal, and it slows the absorption of the glucose, of the carb or carbohydrates, the fat and the cholesterol. So it expands in your gut so you get fuller faster and stay fuller longer. And our most recent study published, the participants, now I love this, it makes me giggle. They ate waffles, 2 waffles, some orange juice with syrup. Now that is sugar bomb city right there. So that's what they had. And after consuming the Balance, they had that, and they had their postprandial or after a meal, their glucose was 43% lower in the group that drank the balance than in the control group. So we have significant improvements for people with diabetes, and it's pretty incredible. So that's the second part. But as far as, I know you asked, I'll tell, since I'm already talking, I'll tell my experience and then Amanda can go. I've been using the product now for almost a year and a half. October or September will be 2 years. I got on the product because I struggle with familial hypercholesterolemia. It runs in my family. And I have been prescribed a statin for as long as I can remember, at least 10 years, which I choose not to take because I personally think they're trash. And I'm not putting that in my body. And so I have always practiced what I preach. I've always been an avid exerciser. I've always tried to eat to the best of my ability, but yet I could still never get my numbers within range. And I got on this product as a self-experiment to see what it could do for me. And within 12 weeks, my triglycerides went from 250 to 50. And my HDL, or your good cholesterol, went from 53 to 122. I
Wow.
was blown away. But that was just the lab work. I had acid reflux my whole life. That's gone. I am a sugar fanatic, like addict with a capital A. And if my cravings on a scale of 1 to 10 were 20, they're now about 4, so that sugar doesn't control me anymore. And so I will take this for the rest of my life because I believe in it that much.
Wow. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's
Yeah.
powerful. Very powerful right there.
So, like Shannon said, I will also be taking this for the rest of my life because we got questions like, how long do you need to take this?
Yeah.
I said, you decide. For me, because of the benefits from it, I was able to cut my triglyceride, which is the bad cholesterol, which is the lipid that's flowing in your bloodstream, which is the cholesterol that's causing plaques. I was able to reduce mine to about 45%, both my husband and I. And my husband also has cholesterol runs in his family as well. The main reason why I started this journey was for my daughter who has PCOS and Hashimoto's, and she's 23 and her cholesterol was like up in the 200. And it's okay, we got to do something about this. And I'm already a functional medicine practitioner. I already taught her how to eat fat, protein, and fiber and stress management and all that. And we're still not able to get her triglyceride down and then the weight around her thighs. So after being on this for 4 months, she was able to lose the weight. She was able to bring down her cholesterol to the normal range, ideal range. She lost the weight around the hips, around the belly, and she has energy. So it's just, again, there's just so much nutrients in the tea. And then the fiber in this packet, it's like you're eating a big bowl of salad every time when you take this. Many people do not get enough fiber into their diet, let alone soluble and insoluble fibers of this quality. And these products undergo the tea, especially. So some people might Google yerba mate tea and they're going to go get it from the store. Our advice is that this tea undergoes a patent extraction purification process compared to the tea that you would get from the store where they just fire roast and then steep. So you still have carcinogens, you still have contaminants in those tea, whereas this, it gets removed.
And ours is 375 times the amount of chlorogenic acid that's in one glass of regular yerba mate tea. So I'm glad you pointed that out, Amanda. They concentrate it so that you're getting the beneficial compounds without the impurities.
Okay. So this is a very high quality that you can't find on the shelves or
Correct.
Amazon. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to end this, which is the reason why they could not sell this in the store, because package don't talk, but we talk. We can educate people. We can explain why these supplements work the way they do, and why it's these are they're quality supplements, and so that is why we're selling these products this way. That's why the company use us to educate people. And what's
That's
the
great.
word?
Don't worry. If it comes to you, let me know. But yeah, you're living proof. This is what I'm looking at right now. It's like living proof of something that's working, and that's where the power is. And it's not a pill. This is better than a pill, right?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. Better than a pill. Absolutely.
And I think in knowing you and in trusting you, you wouldn't just take something just to take. You obviously are a functional medicine practitioner. So there's a lot of different products you can choose from. And so that's what really begun to get my attention when we were speaking back earlier. And so I'm like, okay, now I'm okay. I'm going to try this with the fiber drink. For me, what I am doing for my digestion is I'm taking a half a pack before lunch and before dinner. And that's okay. You just split up the pack and everything.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. A lot of people that may have gut issues or an unhealthy gut will do that and then work their way up to a full pack. I have a gut of steel, I say. And so I just went full blast in and did not have an issue. But there is no wrong way by going about it slowly and introducing your gut microbiota to this new diverse form of fiber.
Got it. I also want to mention about the caffeine issue, because that was something that was concerning to me when I started. Now, I like coffee, but I drink it as a treat. And then I'll do like natural stuff or whatever. So I thought my body really reacts to caffeine. I can tell you that I haven't really had a problem. And that's amazing. And I'm drinking 2 cups a day or 2 of the packs a day because it doesn't do the same thing to my body that other caffeine does. And I can't explain that, but I can tell you that it also has not affected my sleep, which I am very happy about, because I was concerned about that as well. Because I have a sleep schedule I follow. I go to bed early, I get up early. And so I'm like, oh no, but that has not been an issue. And so I'm here to share that so far, my experience, and just thought I'd throw that at you guys as well, as you're more knowledgeable on that too.
Just to explain that, why you're not experiencing those side effects as you would in coffee is because the caffeine in this tea does not elicit the same response of, it does not increase the amount of epinephrine release as the caffeine in coffee. So it only elicit about 15%. So therefore, you don't get the same side effect. You don't get that jittery feeling causing insomnia at night. So even people who are caffeine sensitive can tolerate this. But
yeah, that's cool.
But if you are, you can just drink half of a pack rather than a whole pack. So everybody's different, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And that's important. And I think having you guys here as experts, and also knowing that you're using the product in your lives, is powerful, because people are going to have questions. And I know myself, I've reached out to you already several times because we're all uniquely made. God did not make us the same. And we're not going to assume we're going to respond the same, or it's just not. It's not true. And that would have scared me away from using something. Oh yeah, you just do that. No, because I know I'm different. Yeah.
Yeah, the symptoms from our body is information, is your body's way of communicating with you. Hey, Carrie, this is not what I need. Or, hey, Carrie, this is good. Oh, Carrie, give me more or give me less. So listen to the symptoms. It's part of your data, right? Like the lab work you get from the lab facility is one, and your symptom is one. Your family history is also another data. So you use all of them together to make informed decisions for yourself.
Very well said. Thank you both so much for coming on here today and making people aware about this product, and also how it is an alternative for Ozempic and Wegovy, and a natural alternative for weight loss. A lot of people out there need to hear that. You know that I've gone public. I'm using the product for different reasons here. So I'm grateful to have you guys on and explaining. And I know you're going to be coming back on the podcast, which I'm really excited about too. And in this episode, for people listening, I will have included the link for the Feel Great system so you can find out more information about it. And thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Shannon.
Carrie, may I say one more thing before we hop off?
Absolutely.
I want people that I think it's important, is these products are in the PDR which is a reference that medical practitioners use to look up any medication. So it's very well respected. We have over a dozen clinical trials backing these products up. But every person that purchases these products gets a 90-day money-back guarantee, Carrie. So if for whatever reason you're not satisfied, you can request a full refund, no questions asked. I just want everyone to know that. But I am so blessed to be here. I appreciate it. And if any of your listeners have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shannon. And thank you,
Thank you.
Amanda. And
Thank you.
yay. If you are ready to live pain-free and you want to enjoy your favorite activities with confidence, let's connect with a consultation. I'll provide you with personalized insights and strategies to help jumpstart your health and wellness goals. And you can schedule your consultation by clicking the link in this episode or reaching out to support@movementcraft.com. And because you are an exclusive listener to the Better Than a Pill podcast, you will receive significant savings for your consultation. And remember, we release new episodes every other week on Wednesday, and I truly look forward to having you join me then.